Hey guys, welcome to Doctor Who discussion. We have I'm here with my lovely co-host Xray girl. Sorry, I was like we have no one else here. It's me and you.
Just me and you. It's all good. It's all good.
I am so excited to start this because we're like really getting into the thick of it. We're getting into a lot of good stuff. We did 3 episodes today because we had one that was a 2-parter. We had the television ones. Before we get started, I got to thank Backhand. Thank you so much for the super chat. Backhand come in with a gold boy. Thank you, Backhand, for the love and for the hugs. And Nick, can you scroll up for me? So, I have this. I forgot we have it set up like this. Backhand, thank you so much for the super chat. And Tricky, thank you so much for the super chat. We have, are we just gonna skip to the 2 good episodes? Just kidding, kinda. Hi, Tricky. I know. I think we'll probably cover the one like
very quickly
and then get into the good one. Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us. I'm so excited to talk Doctor Who with Xray Girl and all of you guys. So we started with the first, it was the TV episode.
The Idiot's Lantern.
The Idiot's Lantern. And then we went into the 2-parter. But we'll talk about the Idiot's Lantern very quickly because, the next 2 are the good ones.
It's funny because when I mentioned what episodes I was watching, Gary goes, at least the second 2 are good. I was like, huh? And I'm like, okay, now I have a preconceived notion of maybe expectations of the episode. And it really did meet the expectations because I just felt like the writing was not up to snuff. It didn't seem as character driven. Like, I didn't love a single character per se that he had met like I usually do.
There aren't a lot of strong characters in this episode, and it was very transparently feminist in like kind of a strong-handed way.
I don't mind that if they did a good job.
Exactly. But
like
yeah, I know. I do feel like they didn't quite pull it off in this episode where you're watching it and you're like, all right, this is a little bit heavy-handed. This one in particular. And again, this show is like that. It's a very progressive show. So, and we don't mind that, especially when it's done well. But I feel like with this episode, it was kind of a little ham-fisted. Just a tad.
The dad, whatever his name is, Mr. McCullough, whatever, I forgot his name. But anyways, the dad, he was such a one-dimensional character. Like, he was just angry and yelling and controlling the entire time. And I'm thinking, like, I get it, okay? You don't have to keep yelling. He sucks.
He's a terrible person. We got it. And then the son explaining what fascism is to his father, who that's what he initially fought against. And it was like, I see what you're saying, but
it's like being hit with a sausage to your face. Like, okay, I get it. You want to have sex, but why can't we just be a little bit more easing in there? Like, You can introduce a character that is a bad dad, whether it be verbal or physical abuse, without doing the thing so aggressively.
And I feel like the actor, the way he portrayed it too, and it could have been direction, it could have been writing, but it was just so over the top.
Yes. Screaming. Literally. He probably was spitting in their faces as he screamed. But it might have been a directing thing. It might have been an actor thing. I'm not sure. But it didn't translate well to me. And I think if they did it well, I should have been rooting for Tommy a lot more and the mom a lot more. But like her being like, oh, you put the flag upside down. Oh, big one up on you. I'm like, I don't know if Rose would say it like that, or it didn't feel as genuine in that moment.
I agree. It's Backhand says, I hate taking a sausage to the face.
Does that happen often?
You don't want it to happen often, especially if you're a guy that's not into that sort of thing. Matt Amos, Thank you so much for the super chat. You lovely humans. 3 gold boys in a row. You guys are fantastic. Thank you. He says, luckiest skeleton hands. Yeah, Nick got me this shirt. He ordered a bunch more stuff for me. And this is like, I'm so excited to have all this Halloween stuff this whole month. And he said, Xray, how are you liking Nier? N-E-I-R? Nier?
Nier. Yeah, it's a game. Ooh. And I am really loving it. I'm like ecstatic to play it all the time. I can't wait to play it already tomorrow.
What kind of game is it?
Like a role-playing game. But what's funny is I thought I finished the game like 12 hours-ish in, and there are different characters you can play in the story to get different views of what's going on. So we're kind of getting that. Like, we're going down another route now that you're getting some little bit of tidbits that you completely missed playing the first character.
I like.
So yeah, me like you a lot. So
yeah. Good. Okay, yay.
Yeah. Was the lady the Wire?
The Wire.
Who was she supposed to be?
I think it was just some sort of creature that obviously didn't have a corporeal form, and that's why it was stealing people's faces. Was it also stealing their essences? Yeah, they didn't exactly explain that. I assumed it was some sort of an alien creature, kind of like the Gelf, because the Gelf also were another race of creature or whatever that didn't have a corporeal form, and that's what they were looking for. So the Gelf were trying to find bodies, whereas this the Wire seems like it was trying to suck energy to
like electrical
create
current.
A form.
It made no sense to why it would steal a face when it's stealing electric currents from your brain.
Right. Like, what was the whole thing with the face? I'm not sure. You're right. This episode in particular wasn't the strongest, and there were a lot of things where you're like, okay, well, that one wasn't. Like, I found myself, because I've seen this before, I found myself spending a little bit too much time on my phone during this episode, whereas the next two, I was just like zeroed in and watching.
Yeah.
Don't even want to look at my phone. This episode, I definitely found myself like picking up my phone and glancing at it and like doing something, and I'd be like, oh crap, and then I'd put it down and like try to watch the episode again. It was kind of one of those.
Yeah. I just wish they did a better job with the writing, because it really could have been a really good episode. It didn't feel how whimsical David Tennant usually is when he moves through the episode. I felt like it was a very ABCD, like a checklist. All right, we got the problem, we got the characters, and it wasn't like, oh my god, that's a twist. I didn't expect that. It wasn't creative.
No, you're right. It wasn't very creative, but it did have potential. It could have been really cool. It was creepy. I mean, if you think about it, there's this TV being, I guess, that's in a TV stealing people's faces and shouting, feed me. Like, it had potential, but they just didn't quite stick the landing, I feel like, with it. Like, didn't quite work out the way they thought they intended it to. But it again, if this is like one of the worst of the Doctor Who episodes, before it got bad,
I'd take it.
Yeah, it's not so terrible. Like, I think that we'll end up probably watching an episode or two into the Jodie Whittaker era, and you'll just be like, oh god. And
it's even worse. It's even worse. It's 2 sausages.
It's 2 sausages in the face, one on each side. Someone who's into that sort of thing is like, tell me more.
It's feminist sausages, okay? It's probably vegan.
Vegan sausages. No one wants those. Gross.
Oh my goodness.
You know what, Tricky? That's a good point. Tricky says you need to have the valleys to offset the hills. This episode was a definite valley. Yeah, this was like not a super strong episode. It was almost like a filler episode a little bit. And then Maddie Mose said something about the great intelligence. And you know what, Maddie Mose? I don't remember because it's been too long. So we'll have to think about it when we get there. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know what it is then. Okay, I won't look.
Well, no, we'll find out. I don't remember, so I don't even know. Deranged Lunatic, thank you so much for the super chat. We got a $1.99 super chat from Deranged Lunatic. He said, Zia, I love the placement of your skeleton hands. Thank you. These are my little skelly hands holding up my cleave. I
feel like I should just hold mine.
Heavy boobas.
Just to match you.
Skelly hands.
I'm not feeling it. I don't have a skinny fingers right as that.
Skinny fingers? What's your ring size? I feel like your fingers look plenty skinny.
No, I meant the skeletal fingers.
Oh, like
in comparison,
these do not look like skinny fingers. These are big boy skelly hands.
Oh, they're big boys. Hear that?
Big boys,
Yeah, yep.
skeletons.
Lots to hold, even with the big. Okay.
Lots to
All
hold,
right.
even with big hands. Big hands for big boobs.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Would you have believed like someone could have been so evil to like let his or tell on his neighbors, his grandma so much that just to keep his respect, like I don't know, maybe not. I I just felt it didn't make sense as well. That
Right, like how he tattles on his neighbors just to be. Yeah, it's sort of in keeping with the character, but like you said again, it's very one-dimensional where you're like, okay, like you kind of call it immediately because he's such a douchebag. You're like, oh, it's probably him that was doing it.
I could see him doing it to Gran, like that makes more sense if it was just her.
But not the neighbors, yeah.
But not the neighbor specifically. And that someone in my chat earlier was saying that a big reason why he might be like this is his PTSD, because he apparently, well, of course we found out he was in the army and fighting against fascism and whatnot.
But completely also somehow missed what fascism was because he was supporting it with his actions at home. Yeah, like he ends up being a fascist, the exact thing that he was fighting against, which is hilarious.
I think it's so funny because when I think about people who sign up for like the army or military, any sect of it, it's all about being like a patriot, protecting your country, protecting the citizens in there, not fighting fascism specifically.
Yeah, right? That's not exactly necessary. I mean, maybe that's why some people would do it. They'd be like, I'm completely against it. I guess maybe that'd be like if people now trying to fight against, what's the word I'm looking for? Communism, right? Like people did that. They were like, damn the communists. And they were like fighting against communism. That was a big thing. Deranged Lunatic. Thank you very much for the super chat. We got another super chat from Deranged Lunatic. We got $1.99. He said,
I don't understand this.
Go. Xray, wait until you get to fish fingers and custard. And I'm not going to ruin anything for you, but you're going to love fish fingers and custard. We are going to get there. And you're going to love it. I'm very excited. The look on your face will change, disgusting. I swear. It sounds disgusting, but I don't want to say anything because I want to ruin it, but I think you'll be excited when we get there.
But that's it. That's it.
Yeah. Just but.
Oh, okay. Thank you. I wish I understood. This was the whole thing with Bad Wolf. Okay, I'll understand it eventually. I'll be like,
I know. That's the problem. It's so hard too because I want to tell you everything, but I'm like, no, don't you ruin this experience for her. You.
Oh my goodness.
K9 Bandit 12. Thank you so much for the super chat. We got $5 from K9 Bandit 12. He said, "Good afternoon, ladies. Hope you're having a great Monday." Hi.
We are.
We're having a lovely Monday, and I hope you are too. Thank you.
Yeah. Also, it was kind of fun to see a VCR cassette. I think that was probably one of my like good moments. That was pretty much it.
The VCR cassette, you're like, ooh, cool.
Retro. Oh my gosh.
I know. I kind of did like the time period that they set it in. That was cool because then it was like not everyone already has a TV. That was at least well thought out. They set it in a time where it was the Queen's coronation, right? And it's where not necessarily everyone has a TV, but the people that did have TVs were buying them from one specific place because it was just this one guy that sold TV. Like it made sense for the time period. So they wrote that out well. Like that made a lot of sense. And that was sort of one of the things. We got another
good idea, bad execution.
Exactly. Another super chat from Tricky. Tricky, thank you very much for the $2 super chat. He said they made the dad too authoritarian, aka fascistic.
Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. And he was like that in his own house. That's a good point. He was like that in his own household as well.
It was so funny when the first moment you see it, they come into the house, he's pretending that he's like some authority of the British, the doctor, I mean, and I guess the guy goes like, oh, why aren't you hanging up the flag? He's like, my wife didn't do it. she should do it. It's housework. And then they go, but the queen doesn't do housework, does she? And I'm just like, it's so blatantly obvious.
I hated that so much. I was like, okay.
It was such a cringe scene. Like,
yeah,
there's other ways to go about this. That is, if you want to be all like feminist, like, it's not it.
Yeah, I agree with you. They could have done it in a much better way, but they did. They ham-fisted this episode, and you're right. Some of the stuff that came out of Rose's mouth, I liked the damn it, Healer. I like the look on her face, like where she was really enjoying telling the guy off, but I hated the things she was saying.
Yeah. Union Jacks or whatever it was.
Yeah, like she went on her whole little rant about it. I don't know. It was just kind of annoying. It was hard not to watch it and be a little bit annoyed by it.
I was so annoyed.
Yeah. Lewis, thank you so much for the 2 British pounds. He says happy Halloween month.
Ooh.
I'm so excited
Very
for
nice.
Halloween. Thank you. And Healer says, oh, so Xia does still stream. Healer, I missed one day. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. I missed you guys. It was Holocron. It was Social Justice Warrior SJW lecturing straight up. Yeah, that's exactly what that was.
Yeah, and the only other good part in that was when the doctor was like, all right, I'm not stopping for anything to save Rose, because I do think that that's something he would do. And when he sees her again, it's such a monumental moment, like, ooh, I could have lost you.
Yes.
Well, he kind of did lose her.
He did, and he had no idea if he was going to be able to get her back. I did like how he's like, now there's nothing on earth that can stop me, because he realized he lost Rose.
Mm-hmm. And it wasn't on his terms, because one day he's going to lose her. But it has to be on his terms, I think.
Yeah. Yes. Oh, I did like that part. That was the part that I like. Matt Amos, thank you so much for the super chat. We got a $5 super chat from Matt Amos. He said, when they force current day dialogue, it pulls you out of the episode. Exactly.
Absolutely.
That is a great way of putting it, because it's current day dialogue and current day ideals, which is fine. I mean, we had to progress somehow, but that was not the way that it was done. And I also feel like, sure, there were probably dickheads who were like that, but I think that they over-exaggerated it to an extreme.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So this episode came out May 27th, 2006. I'm wondering if, when people watched this episode, and maybe you guys and even yourself included, when you watched this initially, did you feel that cringe, or is this more of today's ideology, seeing that all the time type of thing, where you're like, ugh, I'm tired of hearing it?
Good question, because it's just been forced down our throats so much that it just gets annoying. I'm trying to remember the first time I watched it, if I felt that way, but it's been too long. I don't know. That's a very good question.
Is even just thinking back on a lot of the feministic movies and TV shows that I've watched and I've missed, a lot of the stuff that is very subtle I will miss, but the stuff that's very obvious, the first thing I could think of was Star Wars. Me being like, I'm not feeling this because of the episode. I don't really know 100% why, but there's something that's weird with the characters.
Yeah.
It wasn't as cringe at the time. Okay.
And then Matt said, I don't think people liked it even then. Interesting. The episode overall, but more for pacing and such. Okay, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I fail. Several reviews have the dad plot as annoying even then. Okay, all right. So that makes sense. So we're not the only ones. Yeah, it was the dad. You're right. He was a very one-dimensional character. He was over-exaggerated. It was like a caricature of an abusive, misogynist. Yeah.
Who thinks he's the leader of the family, can do anything and everything he can to rule over them, which, I mean, God, I haven't actually met someone like that.
No, I've never really met anyone. A lot of the time, it's so funny, because before I ever did anything with Gary or Nerdrotic or really any of the people, Cody even, it's because before I really knew who they were, so many people have something to say about them, like, oh, they're misogynistic, they're an asshole, or whatever it is. And it's so funny, because then I'll end up on a stream with one of them and I'll do something and I'm like, I don't see that at all. So I'm just like, where are you getting this from? Because before you know it, you just are going by what other people say. And every single time I'm always like, no, they're not. They're not racist. They're not sexist. They're not misogynist. I don't necessarily agree with every single thing, but they're none of those things. You know what I mean? It's weird. So I feel like people love to put that label out there when it's not necessarily true. A lot.
It's the idea of that if you're not with me, you're against me. So we need to label you with something that's very aggressive.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's that whole thing of like, well, because you don't agree with every single talking point that I have or every single viewpoint that I have, you're a bad person. And so I have to turn you into a villain. It's interesting.
Yep. You're the villain of my story.
TJ Carr, thank you so much for the super chat. I got a $4.99 super chat from TJ Carr, and he said, it was cool seeing you at Houlihan's on Saturday. Next time I'll say hi. I got your email, and I don't know if you emailed me back after I emailed you. Someone recognized me, TJ. Thank you. At Houlihan's, and I went to lunch with my friend Amy, and I was so surprised I got an email, and I was like, oh my God, someone knew who I was. That's so weird.
Houlihan's.
Cool.
Oh.
Yes, always say hi. It was my first time going to Houlihan's. It's like a random, what's it called?
Looks like the font
chain.
Of Hooters, but
yeah, it's kind of like that's like a random chain. It was good. I got a burger. They cooked it perfectly. I enjoyed it. I had a good time. But yes, please come say hi next time. I swear I'm
their
nice.
sandwiches
just
look good.
My own little.
Okay.
Yeah, their sandwiches were good. Yeah, people love to fling out Isterphobe words all the time.
Yep. Okay, so I think I'm pretty much, those are like the big things I kind of wanted to talk about, unless you could think of something else.
I can't think of anything else. I do want to get into the good episodes because the two-parter with the Ood is so awesome. They're such good episodes.
Oh my God. So that introduction into like getting on the ship and meeting the Ood, and then I go, oh my God, they're so scary. They look, well, the best way I could explain it, it's like someone cut someone's gut and the entrails are like hanging out. Like, why are there so many little tubies
coming out of their face? They're like terrifying Zoidbergs.
Yes,
like longer.
More of these, more of this action. What is that? Someone clip this. We're the Ood.
People are like, what's happening right now?
We're nerding out, okay?
Yeah, leave us alone, okay? It's the Ood. You don't understand. Actually,
I know. Now I do. They seem like such nice creatures. After, of course, figuring out what they were. You know,
well, it wasn't their fault. The devil or whatever, because we never really. I honestly like that they kept. I'm just gonna jump ahead and then we'll go back.
His name.
Yeah, I kind of like that they left it somewhat ambiguous by the end of that episode. That was really cool. Hi, mindless.
Well, I think the mystery of it, because realistically, every culture has a name for the devil, Satan, Prince of Darkness. They listed a whole bunch even in just the episode.
Yeah.
But I think that there is no one name because it's all the same.
Exactly. It's the same being, different names. And I do like that they sort of left it ambiguous and they never really gave us an explanation. The doctor was like, I don't know. Could be. Could not be. Could be something completely different. But this was such a great two-parter. And the Ood, yeah, it wasn't really their fault. They were being used as...
Yeah.
You feel bad for them.
Pawns.
They were pawns.
They just wanted, and I mean, their words, they're a slave race that just wanted to do something. Otherwise, they would die.
Yes, they needed to be bossed around by humans. They were like house elves. That's the Ood I like like the house elves of Harry Potter, like sort of.
Uglier...
Yeah.
Grosser versions of it. Don't give him a sock.
You imagine the Oods all walking around with a sock being like, we're free.
We're free. Well, they'd have to talk with their ball. We're free.
I love how they come in and the Ood are like, what were they saying when they came in?
Must feed. Must feed. But I think they were getting cut off. Must feed humans if hungry. And I'm like, oh my God. I was laughing so hard.
They really get you with that one. Like, as soon as you come into it, they're like, ooh, we're going to pull a fast one on you.
Yeah, it worked. Okay. It worked. my God, someone in the chat saying like just like Forbidden Frontier yesterday was, is it demons or aliens? Oh my God, this felt like a very like demon possession episode.
It was. And it was Toby was his name, right? That kept getting possessed.
Yep.
And he had the writing all over him. Matty-Mos, haha, sorry. I couldn't help it. I have Dobby right here. Then he was, with the writing all over him and the red eyes. Like that was good. And I love how they get, David Tennant gets down there, the doctor gets down there and he's talking to him and he's realizing, he's like, wait a sec, your consciousness is somewhere else. Like I love the way how he figures stuff out so quickly.
And he does it so well, like just portraying a story told by one person on his investigative adventure where it's like, yeah, they wanted me to come down here. Otherwise there wouldn't have been an air cushion. And then the vases, they wanted me to do this. They wanted me to find this. But if I kill you, I'm going to kill Rose. All this stuff. And I'm like, I'm very impressed on how they wrote it out and how he acted it out and they directed it. Cause it was very cool to see him like with the different angles of his face as he's figuring it all out as well.
Yes. Those different shots where he would go like this and then it would come down from below and then it would come back up to, and I can never get enough of seeing David Tennant's face as he's excited. It's
like as he's talking to himself and it's his different personas, like figuring it out. It really feels like that.
Yes. Yeah, you're right. That was such a cool design, or I guess shot choice that they did. I really enjoyed that. I like that you brought that up. Zach has a question for you. Zach, thank you very much for the super chat. $5 super chat from Zach. He said, Xray girl, what did you think of the 2023 David Tennant trailer? Did you watch it?
I watched it on the real BBC. He looks a little older, which is fine. He has the same spirit still. I don't know who his companion is, so I couldn't really get into the trailer as much who that woman was, but apparently she is typical her as well, according to the boys. And it looks fun. I just don't think I could watch that episode without knowing all the players in the game. I would need to. It feels weird to go in being like, who's this girl that I have no idea.
When we get to Donna Noble, I think then you'd be able to watch it and be like, oh, awesome. And we'll get to her in a couple seasons, maybe like one more season and a half.
Yeah,
something like that.
And I mean, hey, we could review the new Doctor Who maybe as well with Ncuti Gatwa, the new Doctor. I'm curious to see if they do a good job.
I might watch an episode or
one episode. We'll give it a chance.
Yeah, just to see. Tricky, thank you very much for the super chat. And this is back to the episode about the devil. Tricky, thank you so much for the super chat. He said he came from before time, before the universe. Even the doctor couldn't believe it. Yeah, so that was back to Satan, and he was talking about it, that he had been there since before time. And he was right. The doctor is standing there, and he's like, "What? That doesn't even make any sense." He's like, "How is that possible? What do you mean before time?"
Well, I mean, even the writing, the fact that the TARDIS couldn't even translate that writing, it seemed very impactful because, of course, the Time Lords have been there since God knows when, clearly. And if the devil existed before that or some form of him, and he's been trapped there, you also have to think, who trapped him there then? Whoever the people, the bringer of light, whoever they are they going to ever meet the bringer of light in the future? I don't know.
I'm not going to say anything.
Oh, gosh, dang it.
Well, no, because I don't remember, but I don't think they do. But then I don't want to say that, and then it comes back, and I'm like, oh, it does come back because it's been too long. I can't remember. That's true. The devil can lie. Oh, and let's just talk about when they first landed and realized that they lost the TARDIS.
Oh, my God. I mean, it created such an atmosphere of panic and ending. Like, this is the end of their adventures. It fell down a huge hole into a rock where they're by a black star.
Literally a black hole, which is a collapsing star that's sucking everything into it on a planet that shouldn't exist with no atmosphere, and they're literally trapped now. And all they have is this rocket and this team to get off. And that's where I love the conversation that Rose has with the doctor, where she's like, well, go to another planet, get a job, have a mortgage, we could live together, and then it like got really awkward.
Oh my God, it was so awkward. Well, because he was like, I don't want to do that. I'd rather die. And I'm thinking, see, this is what Rose wants that with him. Every woman wants that. She's like in love with him.
Of course. And of course she wants to settle down, and who wouldn't want to settle down with David Tennant, Doctor? Everyone would. And so, but he's used to a life of adventure, which is fine for her now, but her woman clock is ticking, and she's probably, she's thinking about nesting already. She's like, yeah, let's move in together. And he's like, oh God, a mortgage? Kill me now. Because he's had 1,000 years of...
Think about when he thought he was stuck in that time with Madame Pompadour. He almost seemed to want to do it, though.
Oh my God, you're absolutely right. He seemed much more at peace with it then.
Rose is not the one.
No. Okay, I'm not going to spoil. I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to spoil anything. I'm keeping it to myself. But you're absolutely right. At that point, he definitely did want to stay. It seemed like he was more into it. Although, look, Rose is a little hottie, but Madame de Pompadour was fire. I hate myself for
something
saying
about
that.
her.
She was. She was so hot. She was beautiful. I fail. Thank you very much for the super chat. Got a $5 super chat from I Fail. He said, I believe in her is a very cringe line, to be honest, and my only complaint with this two-parter.
When he was talking to the devil, and then he like broke the vase, and then everything started falling apart because he's like, I'm gonna go for it because I know she'll be able to do. Do I think it's cringe? I don't necessarily think it's cringe. I think it seems very typical, like you would expect that line to be said.
Yeah, especially from the Doctor with Rose, because it does seem like they do believe in each other. Even when Rose thinks that the Doctor died, when she thinks that he fell, and
the Doctor would wait for me.
Yeah,
I'm going to do the same thing.
She was not going to leave. She's like, no, I don't believe at all that he's dead. Like, she couldn't accept it because she's like, no, I have too much faith in him. There's no way he's dead. So there is that. There is that.
So I didn't. Yeah, I think it was a fine, and it was an okay line. It could have been better, maybe. I don't know what he could have said that would have been better, but
it didn't bother me. I don't remember being bothered by it watching it. Draco Arim, thank you for the $2 super chat. He said, "Hello, sweeties. Ood have one hell of a story in season 4. Yes, the Ood do come back. The Ood do come back.
So in 2 seasons. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Zach, thank you so much for the super chat. He said, here's more cake for the Xia.
Fuck yeah.
Ooh.
I almost did the spit, but I didn't.
Oh.
I didn't do it. Well, I'm not going to do it. I wanted to.
The back to kind of like that cringe moment that I feel kind of mentioned. I think when Rose shot the bolt gun out of the window and the vacuum seal obviously got released, they should have all died.
Yeah.
They should have all died. It's too cold. Instant freezing death.
Isn't that what happens? That you do? It's an instant freeze, right?
I believe so. It's like sub-zero temperatures out in space.
Did you notice that you watched The Witcher, right?
Not the most recent season, but yes.
But you watched skip that, it's fine. The girl that got sucked out into space and died, great scene, by the way. That was like, you really felt how sad that was for everybody. She was Madame Tissaia.
Oh yeah. I realized that because I was like, she looks so familiar. Where is she from? And then chat was telling me, thank God. Oh, people in chat are saying, no, that's not how it works.
Oh, okay. It's not. You can survive in space for a brief period of time. Really? So you don't freeze right away.
How brief?
Yes, wibbly wobbly, timey wimey. I want to know. Instant decompression and loss of atmosphere. Not immediate deaths, but very quickly. Yes. Okay. All right. So you wouldn't die right away.
I wouldn't want to put myself in that situation. I'll stay on Earth. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. Okay. So it will fill up your lungs if you try to hold your breath. Oh, it'll F up your lungs.
Without an atmosphere, the heat can't leave your body efficiently. It will actually take you a minute or 2 to freeze to death. Oh, damn. Look at this.
I wouldn't want to be in that situation either at all, though.
Yeah, very brief fight. No, that sounds terrifying. Your last minutes are you can't breathe and you're like slowly freezing to death. That sounds awful.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I liked when I thought I was going to instantly die.
Yeah, an instant death is way better than a slow, terrifying death.
Oh my gosh. They did a really good job kind of introducing the characters. And there was actually quite a few characters to follow and just where they were, how crazy it is that this thing existed. I mean, there was times that there were big words that I had no idea what they were saying, but at the same time, I think they did a well enough job for any layperson to understand, okay, we're by a black hole. There's a gravity funnel based on the core of this little planet, but it shouldn't exist.
Yeah. Yes, I know, you're right. They did a very good job of sort of, you understood why they were there and what was going on, even though it's, and I kind of often wonder if they confer with like scientists or not astronauts, what's the word I'm looking for? Astrophysicists, thank you. Astrophysicists with this kind of writing when they write, so it's at least somewhat accurate, or if they just sort of look it up and make it up. I've always been curious.
Well, 2006, the internet did exist, so.
People are also saying that your eyes would boil.
What?
That's so terrifying.
Zero pressure caused your eyes to boil? That sounds horrible.
That sounds so, but just remind me never to go into space is essentially
not doing it.
No, thank you.
Not doing it. And another thing that I really, 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 really liked was this episode, the doctor really emphasized that humans are amazing with their curiosity and things they find out. It was
so cute when he wanted to give the captain a hug.
He's like, "You're doing amazing things," and I'm just thinking, "Oh my god."
It was so cute. He's like, "Can I hug you?" He's like, "All right."
Okay, this is weird, but sure, why not?
This was a cool episode where all of these characters, they did a great job with the character development, and it was hard not to like all of them. Even poor Toby, who was just, he wasn't a bad guy. He was just possessed. But they did such a great job with all of these characters being really phenomenal people and sacrificing themselves and really caring about each other and working so closely up there together. This was a very well written episode character-wise. They did a good job.
Yeah. And even that moment where, like, you could tell that maybe the crew probably did play a lot of tricks on each other. Or just like very close family. And, when the devil first possessed him and he's like, "Oh, Danny, is that you? Is that you?" And of course, no reply. And then when the devil actually kind of comes in and is like, "I'm behind you, but don't look. Otherwise, you'll die."
That was so creepy, right? Don't look at me.
So every time he somewhat turned around, don't look. He got ample warning.
He did. It was very creepy. Whoever did the voice of the devil, which I actually didn't look, I should have, did a great job. It was so creepy.
Well, and that's when I was like, oh my God, this is such a devil possession type of thing. And I didn't know that was obviously the devil at that time, or some form of him.
Right.
But God, I mean, exorcisms must have been a huge thing. And that writing, they would have had to make something like that up. Because it almost looked like Asian characters, but then it wasn't.
X-Ray Girl's like, I've been duped.
Asians have lived the longest. At least according to Doctor Who. Hey, they put the devil away if that's the case.
That's true. They must have been the ones. We have a lot to thank them for. Thank you.
Oh my gosh.
Zach, thank you so much for the super chat. We got a $2 super chat from Zach. He said, Clara is pretty, but Donna is the most entertaining. Clara's beautiful. I think Clara is probably the prettiest to me of all the companions, and then Amy, and then Clara.
Clara, companion.
She's beautiful. But Donna is great. Some people don't like Donna, though.
Okay. Donna, she's very pretty, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Donna, I think that Donna is I think she's still pretty, but I think that if you compare Clara to Donna, I can see why people would choose Clara.
Well, yeah, that's the problem. And then I think Amy Pond is also really pretty, though. She's oh my God, in the Marvel movies, not Gamora, her sister. What's wrong with me? My brain won't work.
The blue one. Yeah.
Yes,
Karen
you know who I'm talking
Gillan.
about. Karen Gillan. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Clara, Amy, Rose. Yeah, Fear of Female. That's exactly my list as well. Andrew Matthews, thank you so much for the five British pounds. He said, this is a two-parter. Reminds me of Event Horizon. P.S. Xray girl has not seen it. Event Horizon's really good. You should watch it. It's a perfect, like, around Halloween.
Oh, wait. Event Horizon. I was told to put that on my list.
Put it on your list. Yes. It's a perfect for, like, Halloween, around Halloween time. It's such a good movie. Such a good movie.
Oh, okay.
And Tricky, thank you for the $2 super chat. He said Gabriel Wolf played the Beast. Ooh, I gotta look that person up. Gabriel Wolf. Thank you.
Who is he? Wonder if that's just how his voice sounds. Gabriel Wolf.
I know. I want to look him up.
Okay. Oh my God, my dad just sneezed. I don't know if you heard it. It was very aggressive.
No, I did not. Do you say your dad just sneezed?
Yeah, I heard him turn like the front of the house.
Is your dad visiting right now, or do you?
Yeah.
Okay, he's visiting.
That's so funny.
Gabriel Wolf.
Clara's a long time away. Well, we'll get there eventually. Wow. Oh, anti-pattern is his favorite is Rose, Amy, then Clara.
Ooh, Rose, Amy, then goes the other way. But well, now I'm just talking more like who's more attractive. To me, it goes Clara, Amy, Rose. My favorites are Amy and Rose are pretty much tied. Then Donna, then Martha.
I think Rose, like, they're doing a much better job dressing her now. She looked so cute in that first episode with her like 50s look. Very cute.
Yes, that was a good look for her. That's actually a popular cosplay for people.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's such a cute look. It's nice to see her not in the typical sweater and jeans.
Yeah, they finally dress her up a little bit, which is nice.
God. But that was they did a good job putting little Easter eggs throughout the episode. That moment when she was talking to the Ood, and then it was like the beasts and armies rise from the pit to make war against God.
Such a good dude. There were some creepy lines.
Creepy. If someone ever told me that, I'd be like, God, they are possessed. Get me the F out of here. I need to go away.
Yes, I would want to get the hell out of there really quickly because this isn't like usual doctor stuff. Possession stuff is very different. Gabriel Wolf is 91, by the way. Sorry, I was just looking him up, but he's 91 now. So he still would have been pretty old then. Good voice. Great voice.
Very good voice. I want to be able to voice act stuff like that. That's awesome.
Mad Amos. I know, right? Voice acting is a great thing to do when you're older if you've got one of those voices. Mad Amos, thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you. He says, Amy Pond, comment by Clara. Dear God, that woman is made of legs. That's the most legs on any living human. She does have incredible legs. And the first episode where she's dressed up as a cop, we'll get to that, where you first see her, is fantastic. He goes, Clara, Amy, Rose. Attractive wise. That's same. That's mine.
All right. Well, I mean, I've only had Rose, so it's just Rose. That's it. Just Rose.
I just like Rose.
I have no other preferences. Oh my gosh. Let's see what other stuff happened that I was like, ooh, that telepathic field when they were talking about like the basic 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and telepathy. I thought that was cool that you can measure that in this world, because if that was a real thing, that'd be awesome to be able to read each other's mind.
That would be so cool. Except I feel like, I don't know, I always thought it would be cool, but then what if I don't know. I don't think I need everyone to hear all the stuff I'm thinking. Only if you
would
want
only
to.
be able to. Yeah. You'd have that like little, and then, you know, when you get drunk, that's probably when you're being so rambunctious and telling people way too many things. It's probably better in your head.
Exactly. So you're doing that already if you're drunk and it just comes out of your
Can
mouth.
you imagine? I would just telepathically talk to my stream the entire time, like, what's up, guys? And I'm just sitting here like this. One day, who knows?
Imagine walking in on that stream, and it's just a person going like this. It's just
I'm betting some e-thoughts and I'm imagining like angry streams. That'd be so funny. Ha, ha. I get it. I get it. I get it.
Bonehead says when they do a live action remake of Finding Nemo, X-Ray Girl should audition for the VA of Dory.
Oh, do I sound like Dory? I can do the whale talk when she's like,
yes.
How are you?
You're hired.
I can speak in whale.
That was actually really good. That was impressive.
Might have practiced that a lot.
Great. You'll be ready to go for the voiceover. Oh, that's amazing.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God. Draco Areem, thank you very much for the $2 super chat. He says, sadly, Clara's personality with Capaldi turns me away. Yeah, she's not, it's hard because she's not my favorite companion, but it's, again, because we get her after Amy and Rose, who are so good, and Donna. She's, bless you. Is that a sneeze?
Yes.
That was adorable.
Thank you.
That was the most adorable sneeze ever. Yeah, sorry. As we're talking about, like, all right, back to the stuff, because X-Ray Girl doesn't know what the hell we're talking about. We're talking about companions she's never seen yet. Yeah.
No, it's all good. I mean,
Sorry.
Capaldi, if I was to say, like, looking at Clara, looking at Capaldi, I wish Clara was with a cutie, a cuter doctor than, you know.
It's tough, right? Peter Capaldi is a good doctor. He is. I enjoyed him as the doctor, but I also used to being super attracted to the doctors because we have David Tennant, then Matt Smith. I know. You gave it David Tennant, Matt Smith, and Christopher Eccleston is cute as hell too. And then you get Peter Capaldi and you're like, he's a good doctor, but I don't want to bang him.
I want to have a lady boner. Like looking at him.
That's the problem. That's the problem. Because you already have a lady boner for the other doctors, and you get to him, and you're like, oh, okay.
How? What happened there in casting?
They just didn't want to take one. And then that was also, I'm going to be honest with you, when they cast a girl, I was annoyed just to begin with because I was like, no, I want to bang the doctor, and you're not even giving me a super hot girl either. Because I'd still bang a girl doctor, but you gave me nothing.
Imagine, who would have been a good girl doctor that's British? That's the problem. I don't know any British actors.
Sienna Miller. She's so hot. I don't know. She could have been a good one.
I was going to say, what does she look like nowadays? Sienna Miller 2020. Oh, she's hot. Never mind.
She's hot. Yeah, no.
She's still hot then.
And even back then, Lynn Green said Capaldi is quite handsome. One of those men that proves men age like wine. I don't know. He doesn't do it for me. But I'm glad that people think he's handsome. This is maybe not my type. Tricky. Thank you for the super chat. I like where your head's at with this. Thank you so much. He said, I used to wonder what kind of chemistry David Tennant and Amy Pond would have had. Not sure if it would have been as good as Matt Smith. No, I think that they cast people really well because the chemistry between David Tennant and Rose is really, really good. And then when you get to Matt Smith and Amy, it's also really, really good. I don't know if it would have, because they have to do screen tests with everybody, right? That's the whole.
I think so, yeah.
To like make sure they work well together, make sure they have chemistry. I think they nailed it with the combinations that they had.
Well, chat's giving a lot of options, and I agree with a lot of them, so.
Oh, yeah, Kate Beckinsale. Zach, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Also, hi, Zach. He said Clara was better with Capaldi. The Impossible Girl was a dumb storyline. Yeah, we'll get to that, but I kind of have to agree with you, actually. Elizabeth Hurley. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Elizabeth Hurley is fair. Oh, did you ever see that movie Bedazzled?
Yes. I loved it. She was hot in it. Ooh.
God. That movie is so good. Haley Atwell, that's another one.
See, there's a lot of hot British actresses they could have picked, but no. They picked Jodie.
I don't know who Michelle Ryan is, Matt Amos. Do you? Michelle Ryan?
No.
To play the doctor using a recycled face. Should I know that name? And I'm just completely...
Michelle Ryan. I mean, she's really pretty. She's a British actress, played Zoe Slater in a BBC soap opera called EastEnders. I mean, I wouldn't know that at all. I'm looking at IMDb and I don't recognize anything. No, I don't recognize anything.
Okay, interesting.
Maybe it's like a British thing, a Britishism. Only the British know. Aw, I was so sad that Scooty died really quickly.
Yeah,
Very touched for her. Don't know why.
She was really sweet. That was a bummer because you come in and everybody is really cool.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
it was very nice.
Yeah.
Hey, if you were to land on someone's, space rock, I think that they should actually be on the side of caution and just fear that you're going to do something bad.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. Okay, I'm going to look up Michelle Ryan. Sorry. I just want to see. Oh, okay. I see. Ooh,
like I said, she's cute.
Very,
she's cute.
yes. Very, very pretty. Gabriel Wolf.
Would you go down into the ground as far as the Doctor and Ida did when they went down the shaft?
No, I'm too claustrophobic. That would freak me out way too much.
Knowing that I could die from a cave-in or anything like that. Oh, no.
And there's like knowing that there's no air and you could get trapped down there and run out of air in your suit, like that also, like they were all sitting there just like she was just sitting there ready to die. She's like, well, I'm gonna run out of air and I'm just gonna suffocate to death down here. Like, what? No,
it's a slow death. It's a slow death, and it's coming too. Like, I couldn't imagine being in her shoes. That is horrendous. And I felt like that chat between the Doctor and Ida was actually one of the sweetest chats that he's had, because this a very heavy moment and they're talking about religion and believing in what, and I'm gonna go and do this because I'll die here anyways, and she just said, I'm scared of dying alone. And that was probably one of the most like vulnerable moments I think I've seen on the show. Like, yeah, there was heroic moments, sure, like people sacrificing themselves for their family, but that was just like a dang, I think a lot of people could relate to this. Like,
it's a very intense, touching moment, and I think dying alone is a lot of people's fear. Like, that's because it's, you're going out of this world and no one really knows what happens after death, and so that's one of life's big mysteries, and it's just kind of a scary thing that you're facing the unknown completely.
Yeah, and you're lowering this guy who is your only friend for your last moments, and he's leaving you, and he's like, I want to jump. I'm gonna risk it for the biscuit.
Yeah, I know. I love how
she wanted to go in.
She was ready to go in, and then he's just like, oh, by the way, we've gone down however many meters. It could be 30. I can survive 30. But he had no idea how much further it went down. My voice just got so high because I was like, dude.
It peaked.
Only dogs can hear me now. Like, that's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. And tricky. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, when he dropped, it was pitch dark. You don't know. It could literally be just under his toes.
He didn't even throw like a flare. They should have had some flares or something you could throw down just to see how far down it
could have dropped something just to hear the echoes and count how many seconds it took to go down.
Yeah. Just anything. He could have tested, but no, he's like, I'm just gonna go for it. He's like, fuck it.
It's crazy.
Tricky for $2. Tricky, thank you very much for the super chat. He says, current day, why can't we have hot people anymore?
Absolutely. Why can't we?
I would just like hot people and everything. Thank you very much. They're much nicer to look at.
Absolutely. Like, if I have to watch a movie, like one of my movies, like Mark likes more or whatnot, and same thing, vice versa. At least we get to look at things that are pretty.
Yeah, exactly. If you're gonna go into a movie that's written very badly, at least you want it to, like, I just watched oh my gosh, what was it? The Expendables 4. Terrible movie. It was not a good movie. But Megan Fox was in it, and she's very hot. So I'm watching. I'm like, you know what? I don't mind this so much. It's not so bad.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
God, my chat is. You guys are too smart for us. Tricky said no atmosphere means no sound. Couldn't drop anything to see.
Oh. don't.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you
Well,
wouldn't know.
this is why I don't know anything about physics outside of Earth.
Yeah, once you start getting into space, I'm definitely not an astrophysicist. I don't know much about any of that.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh.
Gosh. So when he goes down and meets the devil, they did a really good job with that CG, by the way.
It was great, right? And wasn't he freaking creepy as hell?
Creepy as heck. Like,
Oh, mama.
can you imagine the devil being like literally the size of Godzilla in the movies? Maybe even bigger.
Dude, that'd be terrifying. I just have a feeling if I came face to face with a creature like that, I'd piss myself. Like, there's no way I could talk to him.
No, I fight or flight. I'm definitely gonna probably run away once I do the same thing. I might have been so scared I pissed myself.
Yeah. That's freaking terrifying. That thing was really, they did. The CGI really does get better as it goes along, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. And even the sets for this episodes were really cool with the way they set up the ventilation shafts, the control room, and you could tell where they were kind of recycled the set in different ways, different lighting and whatnot, but they did a great job just doing all that.
It was a good atmosphere, and it did feel very self-contained. Like, you really felt like you were on a base on a crazy, impossible planet. They did a great job.
Yeah. Another thing I would not want to do. Oh my God.
And
I can't imagine living life like that.
No. I can't. I'm too claustrophobic. I'd freak out. Same sort of thing. Like, anytime I'm trapped in a space, I don't do well. Like, that freaks me out way too much.
God. Oh my gosh. The scene where Scooty confronts the well, it's not really confronting. Goes to, because the door opens and she's like, "Oh, who went out the door?" No one that's registered. Whose flight suit was used? No one's. Who authorized this?
No one.
No. You're just like, did you malfunction? No. And you're like, the heck?
The heck is going on? Yeah, that was a crazy one. Well, because it's the devil.
Devil. He can make anything happen. He can do anything. It seems.
It's crazy.
And he knows things.
He knows things. And it was crazy that he was able to possess people, but it seems like they needed to be there, right?
You mean in person?
Like, yeah, like he had to escape. Like, he probably couldn't have just, like, if someone was riding by in a spaceship or something. So it was like, really, they were the reason that he was loose and like letting himself out.
What would have been interesting is the first possession, of course, of Toby. Was he in some sort of like ghost-like form?
That's kind of what I'm wondering too. You're right. When he came up and he's like, "Don't look at me." Like, was it a ghost? Was it just a voice? Like, I'm not sure. My hair's pissing me off.
Oh, okay. And you have no idea either. So if it probably was a type of spiritual ghost-like being. And then once he is in that body, I think he has to jump back and forth with people in there. You remember that lady that the skin lady, the last human?
Cassandra.
Yeah, she had to like touch them in order to like exchange.
Right, she would touch them and she would be able to go into their thing. That's a good question. That's a good question.
I mean, it's Doctor Who lore that we have not breached yet.
Yeah, Zach, thank you so much for the super chat. He said, "Clara, be my pal and tell me, am I a good man?" Yeah, we have not gotten there yet, but I like where your head's at.
We will get there soon enough, I'm sure.
We will.
Gosh. I'm glad they used red contacts and didn't do that as CG.
It was because it looked really good, and it was a really good vibe. Like, it just made everything so much creepier when he looked at the ood and he went shh, and his eyes were like
oh
red.
My God. That I was like, oh, he's done being possessed. They went into the ood. The ood's been taken over. We're fine. Toby's fine. No, he's not. And that scene where Jefferson sacrificed himself.
he was like, can you make it quick? He's like, is there a way for you to suck all the air out? And like right as the ood was coming in for him, oh my God.
He's like, this is better than, a death by an ood. And I'm like, I mean, he's not wrong. He
Yeah.
chose it versus whatever they're going to do to him. Ugh.
Yeah, exactly. And it's also like probably a lot quicker because I would imagine the ood would probably tear him apart or do something terrible.
Who knows? Who knows? And well, if they're being possessed by the devil, who knows what they would have done to him? And the scene after really portrayed the heaviness of that situation, having the captain, you know, uh, whatever his full name is, death with honors, and everyone that died got honors, even poor Toby, who it wasn't his choice to be possessed. And even the ood.
I like that as they're
honors.
flying away and he was like listing off all of the ood. I thought he was just going to say, oh, and the ood, but he was like in order all the oods.
Yeah. I think I really appreciated how well the captain did his job. And I mean, he did say he's like acting captain because I guess the captain died. We don't know how, where, when, or why, and just even having the security guy being like, you did a good job with what you had. And I'm like, that's sweet.
I also actually really enjoyed when it was really sweet. And I thought he did a great job when Rose was trying to stay. And he was like, that I'm sorry for this. And like straight up knocked her, like, sedated her because he's like, I'm not losing any more people because he doesn't know. He did the right thing.
So many people.
He lost so many people and he absolutely did the right thing, even though I understand where she came from. And we know that the doctor's not going to die because there wouldn't be any more show. But it's still like he doesn't know that. And he does everything in his power to save her. And I really loved that moment. I was like, as much as you want to be like, no, don't do that, he still did the right thing. And I'm glad that he did that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. It shows the humanity of things. It's like he is taking a very unbiased approach to this. He knows she has like these strong feelings towards this doctor guy, and this in the end is probably not the best for her just to survive. It's gonna suck for a couple months if they survived that way and the doctor died, but she'll get over it eventually.
She'll get over it. She'll be fine. She would be fine. And he saved her life. She didn't need to go down with the doctor, even though she would. And that just shows the strength, I guess, of their bond and of her devotion to him. The fact that she would literally die to stay near him and be with him.
Love. And yeah, I don't think they've said that to each other. They've just shown it in different ways.
They show it in different ways. Oh man. There was the kiss, but that was with the previous iteration, but still the same. That kiss.
It's not the same.
It's not the same.
I know the doctor probably knew, and he was like, this is not my Rose.
Yep. And oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, you go ahead.
I was going to say, Matt Amos, I've never heard that phrase, but I love it. People, heroes who may not succeed, but will fail doing the right thing. That's amazing. And Tricky also makes a good point. In the end, the captain did the right thing. The doctor's only able to save Ida. If Rose had stayed, the doctor could have only saved one of them. And of course he would have saved Rose. This way, Rose was saved and Ida was saved. That's a good point too. I forgot about that. Yeah, because
he's like, I couldn't go back to save the ood.
Yeah, he's like a classic one. Oh,
it is very interesting, Matt Amos. That line that you said: "People, heroes who may not succeed but will fail doing the right thing."
I love that.
It's one of the weirdest things, but especially in today's culture. Like I saw a video that says, "Would you kill to save your child?" And some people like literally said no, and I'm thinking, what is wrong with you?
You're a terrible parent. You should not have kids. You wouldn't kill to save your kid? Really?
It's like I cannot even imagine anyone saying that about their child.
As a parent, you have one job.
Yeah. I mean, you could say like, okay, like not aimlessly kill, but if my child's in danger and the only way to save them was to kill them, then I would do it. Like, yeah, I'm not gonna just kill someone, just be like, this is for my kid. No. There has to be a reason.
Yes, there has to be a reason. But still, like,
I would put myself in danger to save my family, that sort of thing. And it's beautiful to see that in these stories.
Yes. And they were like a family there. They might not have been related, but they were a family.
And that's what we see with Rose and the Doctor, vice versa, all the time. They keep putting themselves in danger. Mind you, they put themselves in danger in the first place.
Yeah.
But...
Yes. Yes. They do, but what they would do for each other is very sweet. Yeah. They're a good team. They do love each other.
Did you know that ship or the company was called the Torchwood Archive?
Oh, I completely forgot about that when they brought that back up, the Torchwood Archive. That was crazy.
My jaw was like...
Yes, I completely forgot about that. Torchwood just keeps popping up all over the place. It's everywhere.
It's like Bad Wolf, but even more obvious.
Yes, right.
Torchwood is. This company Torchwood is not just international. What am I talking about? Intergalactic.
Intergalactic, and through so much time. Do you remember what the time was where they landed?
I don't know, but all I know is Earth is 500 years away, allegedly.
500 years. Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. I completely forgot about that.
I can't. I like Torchwood began in Little Britain when Queen Victoria met the Doctor, and now it's an intergalactic company that searches out for these types of things. I guess I don't know. Like, this is so cool. And I mean, I haven't watched Torchwood. You have, if I remember.
I have. I've watched Torchwood, but it's been a while and I've only seen it once. I remember very little. Like, I remember some stuff. I remember the characters. And then there's a lot of stuff that I forget because it's been a while. But it's a good show. I really liked it. I remember really loving Torchwood.
We're going to have to watch it at some point just because of how many times it's mentioned in these episodes. I feel like it's like once every other episode that Torchwood does come up.
Yeah, it comes up a lot.
It obviously is interlaced because the Doctor is the reason it was created.
Yes, and literally it was created because he went back in time. If he had never gone to that time, it never would have been created, and then he wouldn't be like in that particular time, and then he wouldn't be encountering it throughout time. Like, it seems like whatever time they stop in, Torchwood is somewhere doing something.
So it's a very a powerful group of people or persons. I don't know who. Well, I guess it's Captain Jack who leads it at some point.
At some point, yeah, he comes into it and leads it. And there's some cool. The cast is really good. It's a cool show. I thought they did a good job.
Oh, hello. We have Disparu.
Disparu's in the chat. Hi, Disparu. He says Torchwood is
Dispy.
awesome until it goes American in the last series. Children of Earth is incredible. I don't think I remember the American one. Did I not watch that?
Maybe you just didn't watch it because you knew it'd be bad.
I do that sometimes where people are like, it's terrible. And I'm like, I'm not doing it to myself. There's no point.
I'm not gonna torture myself.
Zach, thank you very much for the super chat. Got $2 super chat from Zach. He said, Zia, thank you for forcing Jim to do a watch along. You are very welcome. That was a ton of fun. So I used to do this show called, or this podcast, excuse me, called the Chip Chipperson podcast. And it was like one of my favorite things I've ever done in my whole life. Best times of my life. It's a character by the comedian Jim Norton, or maybe the other way around. Maybe it's Jim Norton's a character of Chip. Anyway, the point is, it's this amazing character. He had a podcast for a while. I did it for a couple of years, literally the best time of my life. And he had a Patreon where he would do stuff, and I convinced him to do a watch along of Doctor Who. We didn't get very far in. We only did a few episodes, and it was Chip commenting on Doctor Who, and it was amazing. And then
cool.
Zach, also, thank you for the $2 super chat. We got another one. Season 3 of Torchwood is the only good season. I've heard people say the opposite. I liked all of the seasons that I watched. I don't remember like not liking a season, but yeah.
Okay. So, well, you watched the British version then. I'm getting some mixed feelings about Torchwood.
The British, it's good, I swear. Backhand says, Zia, the American Torchwood was one season and was canceled. Oh, okay. Yeah, I did not watch that.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. We're not gonna watch that. Like I said, maybe I'll watch one episode of a bad TV show, but I wouldn't watch all the episodes. I don't like torturing myself. I feel so bad for people like Disparu and Gary and whoever else watches like horrible shows to review. It's like I, I tune out. I tune out almost immediately.
Same. I just end up on my phone.
It's almost so bad that anytime they end up watching a show, I'll be like, I'm not gonna watch it. It's automatically gonna be bad.
That's so funny. You're like, I know you guys are talking about this, but I am not doing it to myself. Good luck. Have fun.
Like,
God bless.
Like they watched Wheel of Time when we went to the meetup, and then of course they went to watch One Piece, and I was just like, you know what? If they end up liking it, I'll watch it. Totally tuned out, didn't watch it, and then of course they ended up liking it. I'm like, oh, now I have to watch it.
Now you have to go back and watch it. One Piece is still on my list of shows to watch also because they keep saying it's good, so I've got to watch it. And see, and then Maddie says season 3 is utter shite, and then mine list sounds like Torchwood.
Oh my gosh. See, there we go. Well, I'll just watch 3 seasons. We'll call it a day. We might not even do it for like a review. It'll just be like
just for funsies. Yeah.
Just for funsies.
Exactly.
Yeah, once I'm done Doctor Who, because we have maybe some plans for other shows, but it's gonna take a moment or so to get through.
We got some time. We got a lot of stuff to watch. We're not even done with season 2 yet, and we've got a 2-week break after this.
I know. It's gonna feel really sad. Just gonna being on a little break. We're going on a break.
If Disparu ever wants to come on, he is 1,000% an open invitation. If he ever, Disparu, if you ever want to do the review with us, 1,000% yes.
Okay,
I'll
always drop Disparu the StreamYard link, and I was actually thinking even for like this one, I might just like invite other people if they want to join the Discord call anytime.
Yeah, absolutely.
Easy join.
Very easy peasy.
Was there anything else that we wanted to kind of like talk about?
I know. Trying to remember. I'm looking at my
notes. Ooh, that big cavern. When we went inside it, I don't know why, but the first thing I thought of was this looks like the mines of Moria.
Yes, you're coming over to the nerd side. This is amazing. If that's your first thought, that it looks like the mines of Moria, oh, bless you. My Lord of the Rings loving heart is so proud.
It's not as pretty.
No.
But
But it is as cavernous.
There's big, huge, there's bridges, there's like big doors and all this stuff. And I'm like, okay. Yeah. I see the vibe we're going for.
I see what you're saying. And yes, I like that very much. I was like rubbing my arms earlier because in my head I was talking about the writing on his skin. And I just realized that had to have looked super weird. I was sitting there doing this. And then I was like, because in my head I was like, oh, it was cool how they had the writing all over his skin. Sorry.
Oh, it's just a mine. Okay. Oh, the writing on the skin. Like, I don't know if that was CG or if they actually like wrote on his face. Oof.
It's creepy. That added to the creepiness. That was such a freaking. Oh, and someone also pointed out in the chat earlier that he was touching ancient artifacts when he was possessed. So maybe that's how he was possessed, because he was handling the artifacts. That actually makes sense.
Oh, through the gloves. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. I remember that.
And it was like coming up onto his skin.
It was like boiling in through the, Wow, tricky.
Where I missed it.
I'm just looking at his super chat.
Wait, I didn't see the super chat. I missed a super chat.
It's at the very bottom. No, it's at the very bottom. He just
Here we go. Yeah. I was like, wait a second, I missed it. Tricky, thank you very much for the super chat. He said, come to the nerd side. We have cookies. Goddamn straight. We have cookies and boobs.
Cookies. Oh, lots of boobs. I have my own boobs, so it's fine. I don't need boobs.
You don't need boobs, but everybody needs cookies.
Everybody needs cookies. Yeah. Oh, the moment when he found the TARDIS, that was the best. I had a feeling he was going to find it down there.
He always has to find a TARDIS. I like in this episode, you find out that the TARDIS is not made. It is grown on his home planet.
Yes. A little bit of lore. You can't, because he's like, can't you just make it? Or Rose said, can't you just make another one? He's like, nope.
They're grown.
And I mean, I'm just thinking it would be so funny to see a garden of British police boxes.
Well, I don't know. I can't remember if we watched this episode or if this was, I'm just remembering it from a different episode, but the TARDIS actually, they don't all look like that. They're meant to blend in with your surroundings depending on where you're dropped off in the time period. And that particular TARDIS was, I think it was in like the 60s or whatever it was, it landed and it got stuck as a TARDIS. They're meant to change with wherever and whenever they land, but because it had some sort of a malfunction when it was a TARDIS, I mean, it was a police box, sorry, not a TARDIS, the blue police box, and then it just got stuck like that and it stayed.
And wow. Mm-hmm. Wow. My brain is just mind blown right now. That is such good lore.
It's a good little tidbit, and I can't remember if we watched it together, if I just totally ruined that for you. I'm so sorry if I did, but
no, it's okay. It's okay. I have a fish memory, so who knows? I might have forgotten it by the time we get there. No, wouldn't that have been in like the first season of like Doctor Who?
It might have been. It might have. Yeah, the chameleon circuit broke. Exactly. And Tricky, I did get that, but it kind of. But yes.
That completely went over my head too.
Like in my head, I was like, "Oh yes, that sounds oddly familiar," and then I was like, "Oh,
come to the dark side. We have cookies."
Yes, yes. I love cookies. Yeah.
That is cool. I think seeing if it's more of a spiritual being, because we did see a little bit hint of it with season 1 and Rose and the TARDIS kind of going into her, so, and then back into the Doctor. Like that is wild.
The TARDIS the TARDIS is like it's a living being, and then it makes sense if it's grown.
And then it's it almost has its own soul.
And
it somehow works. And I love it.
I love it. It's so cool.
I want to have a TARDIS.
Me too.
I want one on my doors.
Time. Yeah. What would yours be in the shape of?
Oh, just logically in my area. I don't know. There's lots of construction in my area, so porta potty would make sense. That would be really gross.
People would keep trying to go in to use the bathroom. They'd be like, why is this porta potty always locked? Or maybe no one would go in because who uses porta potty because they're gross.
Yeah, I know. Or I don't know. Feel like one of those like trucks because it's the country. A big truck. Big Ford F-150.
Have you ever heard that song by Coal Chamber, Big Truck?
No.
I just love that song so much. If you
Is it
ever
a country song?
No, it's a metal song, but it's amazing.
Oh,
it's so great. Just when you said Big
country.
Truck. No.
I'm a big fan of country. Not embarrassed about that.
I will say
entirely.
Nothing.
Maybe a little, but hey.
I will say absolutely nothing about my hatred for country. I'm going to stop it right there.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Let me see. There was other things that I like that they put into the lore. The fact that they're bullets, but they're okay to shoot in space, like a space station, because it only affects organics.
Yeah.
I thought that was a very interesting kind of one line to kind of say, it's fine if I shoot this because I won't create a hole in this vacuum and we all die.
Yeah, I like that they explain things. I like that they take the time to be like, okay, well, this is some new technology that we have because we're so far in the future, we're advanced. Obviously, if they're 500 years away from Earth, they have enough technology to travel that far. Mm-hmm. They could have the technology for it. Yeah, they're advanced. So it's cool. It's cool that they take the time to explain those little things.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, I would. I take it back from all those weeks ago when I said I would never go on a trip with the Doctor. I probably would.
You would, right? Right? Like, how can you not go on a trip with the Doctor? If David Tennant popped down in his TARDIS and was like, would you like to come with me?
Oh, David Tennant, hell yeah. Matt Smith, hell yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Eccleston, hell yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Jodie Whittaker pop out? No.
I'd be like, your suspenders are stupid. They're not cool.
Shut up, Karen.
They're not cool at all. They're rainbows and they're dumb.
See, I never thought, like, for a woman to wear suspenders, it never made sense to me. Because everything a girl wears is pretty tight. So what's the need for suspenders?
There's no need for suspenders. The only, and woman, you're using the term loosely because technically she's like 13 or something, but is Misty from Pokemon. She can wear suspenders. She's the only one.
It's true. But even those shorts are really tight.
They are. They're very tight. I've done that cosplay. It's brutal.
Everyone in the chat's just like, ooh, when are you going to show us that cosplay?
Oh, yeah. I've got it. I should do it at some point. I think I still have the wig and everything. Despero says, it's like, you'd almost die, but he'd probably save you. Yeah, exactly. And then
that is the hope.
Yeah.
But that's me knowing what Doctor Who is all about, not just being like in the moment and be like, oh, who are you? You want to take me on an adventure? That's weird.
Right. You don't know that at the time. You're like, who the fuck is this weird guy coming out saying he's a Time Lord?
Yeah. And I mean, like we've said, none of them are actually like 10 out of 10 good looking guys that we'd be like, oh my God. But I think the personality mixed in with the physical looks that we've seen in the show, at least. I don't know if they're like that in real life. 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. 1,000%. Personality is everything.
Yeah.
Like I feel like a lot of people don't realize that whether you're a guy or you're a girl, a good personality can boost your by like 3 to 5 points. I'm not even joking.
Yeah. Because the way that he fights for Rose, protects her, and the fact that he always says or not always, but like brings up the fact that, I made a promise to Jackie to bring Rose home, like a man of his word, trying to at least. Like that, those are like great characteristics in a human being.
Yes, he has a lot of fantastic traits, and I know we talk a lot about the companions humanizing him, and they're there to sort of bring him down to earth a bit, because it's sort of like if you ever hear Neil deGrasse Tyson talk, right? Like he's so much smarter than the common man, and so he tends to trivialize more human things because he thinks in these sort of broad, expansive terms. And I feel like the Doctor is sort of similar, right? So he thinks so largely of the universe as a whole, and he's seen so much that not everything means the same to him as it would to us. And so having someone there to remind him that, hey, these might seem like small trivial problems or small trivial things, but they're actually really big to the people that are living them every day but he's still underneath that has all of those great traits.
Yeah. And he's definitely about experiences, not stuff.
Yes. Yeah, he has like nothing in the TARDIS. The TARDIS is pretty much empty. Also,
well, except for clothes.
But you gotta wear clothes, otherwise there'll just be dong hanging. Matt Amos, I know. He's like all of my type. Yeah.
Oh my God. View eyes like 6 feet 6 inches is a doctor. Hey, these are fictional characters. If David Tennant in real life, I don't.
Would
you would?
Yeah. Don't gotta ask me twice. Matt Smith too would.
Physically, Matt Smith.
Okay, so yours
House
is more
of the
Matt
Dragon.
Smith. He was really good in
House of the Dragon.
I know.
Like it's not even about his character. It's about he was fit.
Yeah.
He was very fit.
Yeah, it's true. He was. You shouldn't be rooting for an uncle to get with his niece, but somehow watching that show, I was like, yeah, totally, bang, do it. Like,
yeah. You guys are a beautiful couple.
It's so terrible.
No, but even in that show, the way that they as family defend each other, that's something to admire too. I mean, I'm not admiring the incest, not that part. Gross.
No, it's gross,
but
yeah.
Any husband and wife should kind of move one and one like they did.
That's how I feel. I feel like you should always have your partner's best interest at heart, and together sort of move through life, like having each other's back. That's kind of the whole point of marriage, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
He's one big chin. Matt Amos says that Matt Smith is one big chin.
One big chin? Is it that big?
I don't know.
I mean, I don't think it's that big.
Let me see. I need to look up Matt Smith again.
I'm looking at him. He has a very pointy chin. I don't think he's that big.
Yeah,
got a very Chad chin.
He does. It's a very chiseled. He has a very chiseled jawline. But yeah, I don't know if I think it's like huge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he is very attractive.
Oh gosh. Actually, like even back then when I saw him in the Crown, I liked him a lot there.
Yeah. Yeah, that blonde hair all slicked back the way he had it, and then sometimes it would like come down and you're like, whoo, whoo. Yeah. Yeah,
That's it for me.
Yep. I get it. I get it.
Hi, Mark.
Mark is like, okay, that's okay. We drool over girls too. We drool over everyone.
Yeah. We're equal opportunists.
Yeah, exactly. Men, women, whatever. It's fine. Tricky, that is an excellent point. The TARDIS has an infinite closet. That would be a lot of clothes for like we'd never run out of stuff to wear.
A room full of stuffed animals? Why not?
Yeah, that'd be amazing. Like, have you ever seen that video? There's a video on Twitter of this girl that had like her room was half piled with what are those called? The little mallow
Squishmallows?
Squishmallows.
Like how my Hello Kitty is, yeah. And
those, but like a giant pile of them, and she just like walked into him and jumped on him, and I was like, I need that right now.
Yeah,
like that's the dumb shit that I would get.
Next time, I don't know. Okay, maybe I wouldn't do this because I feel like this would be very uncomfortable. I was gonna say I'll bring my Snorlax and stream from my Snorlax. I'm like, nah, not a great idea.
No, but that would be so awesome. I still want a Snorlax so bad.
I'll see. I'll bring it in here, see and test it out because that would be fun. Like just chat and stream.
Yeah.
Pajama stream
with the Snorlax. That would be literally perfect. You have to figure out how to do that.
Maybe one day.
Yeah.
Maybe one day.
Yeah,
We'll see. We'll see. But anyways, this episode overall really good. There was a lot of heavy moments, a lot of great moments, some light. I like the booty joke that they made when they were like crawling in the vents.
Yeah. She was like, this isn't a great view. And the guy behind her is like, it's not too bad from here. She's like, oi. I did like that.
Yeah. So I who is it better than any of the other two-parters we had? I don't know if it's better than the one last week.
The two-parter last week, Rise of the Cybermen, that one.
Yeah.
I actually like this one better.
Yeah. But what's funny is Girl in the Fireplace still beats both of those two-parters, this
Agreed.
one and last one.
Girl in the Fireplace, and if it's not a two-part, but it's amazing. It's so good. Yeah.
So we have 4 more episodes left in this season. The next ones we're going to watch is called Love and Monsters and Fear Her. So that'll be fun. But we're not coming back for 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Yeah. So next week, Monday is Canadian Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Canadian Thanksgiving. And then on the 16th, I'm going to be in the city doing Wet Spot with Chrissy. I'm so excited.
That's
I'm
okay.
So excited.
That's okay.
I know.
I think that'll be fun. You guys together are freaking hilarious. So
I love her so much. Oh my God. It's like, I know she's hilarious. Like I know I have an amazing, hilarious friend, and then I forget, and then we like hang out or do something together, and I'm like, oh my God, that's right. You're fucking hysterical. It's gonna be awesome. But I am going to miss talking about Doctor Who. But
I know. It'll go by really quick. No, it's actually 3 weeks. We're missing 2 weeks, but we'll be back in the 3rd week.
We'll be back
October
in the
23rd.
The 23rd. I forgot to text.
Because
I can't.
We had it wrong the last week. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, we did have it wrong the last week, but
stuff happens.
That was my bad. I fudged up.
Which this is crazy. So by the end of this month, we're gonna go into the next season already.
I know. I can't believe it. Like we are actually flying through, especially when we sometimes do the 3 if there's like a double episode, which is always good because there's like the one episode that's great to talk about briefly, and then you can get into the 2-parter and give that like more time. It actually works out really well. But yeah, so we will see you guys in 2 weeks. Thank you so much for joining and listening to us nerd out about Doctor Who, because I never get tired of this.
I love it.
So much fun. Thank you to everybody who's super chatted and supported. You guys freaking kick so much ass. Thank you so much for all of the super chats. You guys rock. Seriously, it means, like, I say it a lot, but it means a lot to me. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching. Please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel and you want to see more stuff like this. I will be back tomorrow for Xia next Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern. I stream here, I think, 3 or 4 days a week, and we go back and forth for Doctor Who reviews between my channel and Xray Girl's channel, so go make sure you're subscribed to her channel. And where can everybody find you? Also, Xray Girl, go follow her because she's freaking awesome.
Ooh, you can find me, Xray Girl, on Rumbles, Locals, YouTube, and Kick, and I stream gaming stuff, and of course on Poor Choices with Tugs. We have on Dadcast this week, we have Epic Mike, and then on Wednesday we have Rebecca Barrett. So that'll be really fun. And I'm trying to think. And Human Cyborg Relations, which is dating relationship channel with Mark. So yeah,
do it.
A little bit all over the place.
Do it. Go subscribe to all of those things. I know I'm gonna miss you. I'm not gonna see you for 2 weeks. This is terrible. No, but we'll be back in 2 weeks, you guys. Thank you so much for everything. I love you all so much. Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye.